Hi everybody, today we are going to be working on lesson 3.8 in our Go Math materials. This is about adding decimals. You are going to need page 195 through 200 in front of you. You're also going to need a pencil. You can bring a whiteboard if you'd like, if you need some extra space to work through these problems. But we are going to start on page 195, okay? Before I start this video, please make sure you really do have these papers in front of you. The reason being, my zoom in button on my document camera is not working, okay? I'm in the process of getting a new document camera, but until that one comes, there's nothing I can do about it not zooming in. So it's very important that you have the papers in front of you so you can see the problems and read the problems, okay? And I will write very big and as we work through these, okay? So at the top of page 195 where it says unlock the problem, there's a picture of a little boy with an umbrella, okay? We're going to read this story problem. So it says Henry recorded the amount of rain that fell during 2 hours. In the first hour, Henry measured 2.35 centimeters of rain. In the second hour, he measured 1.82 centimeters of rain. Henry estimated that about 4 centimeters of rain fell in 2 hours. So he estimated, which means that he was like, okay, roughly about 4 centimeters of rain. What is the total amount of rain that fell? That's the first part. How can you use this estimate to decide if your answer is reasonable? Okay. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to do an estimate, okay? And they've actually rewritten the problem over here. This stuff is just like step by step how to add it. But I want to do the estimation first because I think that's going to be more valuable to you, okay? So we have 2 and 35 hundredths, okay? We're going to estimate. We're going to round first and estimate about how much rain fell, okay? So we look at our whole number here, which is 2. We look to the right, and that's a 3. Because it's a 3 and it's less than 5, the 2 stays the same. So a good estimate for 2.35 is 2. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing for this one. We look at the 1, look to the right. It's an 8, okay? Once you look to the right and you see that 8 is larger than 5. Because it's larger than 5, the 1 is going to increase by 1. So if we increase it by 1, that becomes 2. So the estimate of 4 is what we get. So that should be roughly about what our answer is, okay? So down here in this blank space, I'm going to write it really big. I'm going to rewrite the problem, and we're going to solve it to see if 4 was a good estimation, okay? So we have 2.35 plus 1.82. Okay, so I've lined up all my numbers, my hundredths place, my tenths place, and my ones place. And I've also lined those decimal points up, okay? And I'm going to use a pen because it's kind of hard to see. Sorry, let me grab a pen. Okay, so 2.35 plus 1.82. Everything's lined up. We're going to do the addition, then we'll add in that decimal point at the very end. Okay, so we have 5 plus 2, which is 7. 8 plus 3, 9, 10, 11, carry the 1. Then we have 2 plus 1 is 3, plus 1 more is 4. Bring that decimal point straight down. 4.17 is our answer, which is a pretty close to 4. So that was a good estimation. So down here it says, so blank centimeters of rainfall fell. So that's where we're going to put our answer, 4.17. So 4.17 centimeters of rain fell. Since 4.17 is close to the estimate 4, the answer is reasonable, okay? So the great thing about it is that you can use estimates to see when you take your answer and actually see if your answer is correct, okay? I personally like to estimate because it gives me a pretty good, reasonable idea of what my answer should be, okay? All right, we're going to go to the next page, which is page number 196. Okay, and we're going to be at the top right here. I am so sorry that we can't zoom in. It's very frustrating, but that's okay. All right, here we go. So we're going to look at this part where it says try this, estimate, then find the sum. So step number 1 says to estimate the sum. So they've given us a problem, 20.4 plus 13.76. They've rounded those for us. So 20.4 became 20. 13.76 became 14. Okay, we can do that mental math in our head. 20 plus 10 is 30, plus 4 more is 34. So we can say that our estimate is about 34. Okay? Now in step 2, we're actually going to do the math. Okay, so we're going to find the sum. The sum is just the answer to the addition problem. So they've stacked them for us. They put 20.4 on top. The reason being because it's bigger. Okay, it's always a good idea to put the bigger number on top. I would get in the habit of doing this whether I'm adding or subtracting, because when you subtract, it's going to make your life much easier. Okay, when you add, it really doesn't matter because of our properties, but when you subtract, it is going to make your life 1,000 times easier. Okay. All right, here we go. They've also added a placeholder of 0 on the end of 20.4 because it was just 20.4 and there was nothing after it, but we want to line up all of our decimal points and place value. All right, so we have 0 plus 6, which is just 6. 7 plus 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Carry the 1. 3 plus 1 is 4. 2 plus 1 is 3. Bring that decimal point straight down. So our answer is 34.16. So over here it says 20.4 plus 13.76 is equal to 34.16. So our estimate was great, okay? And we can actually write 34.16 here, and let's round it. So we look at our 4, we look to the right, it's a 1, so it should be 34, okay? It's a great estimate. All right, we're going to scoot down the page here where it says share and show, and we're going to look at some of these problems. So number 1 through, I guess it's all of them, 1 through 5, says to estimate, then find the sum. Okay, the sum is just the answer to an addition problem. Okay, it's just a fancy word for saying I'm adding and I'm getting an answer. Okay, all right, here we go. So we're going to estimate first. We have 2.5 plus 4.6. So let's round those two numbers to get a reasonable estimate, okay? So we have 2. We look to the right at the 5. 5 or more, we add 1 to the 2. So that's going to become 3. Okay, here we go for the 4. So we look at the 4, look to the right. Because it's larger than 5, the 4 becomes 5. So 3 plus 5 is 8, so our estimate is 8. Okay, estimate is 8. Now we're going to actually add them and do the math, and our answer should be close to 8. Okay, let's look at it. We have 5 plus 6, which is 11. Carry the 1. 4 plus 2 is 6, plus 1 more is 7. Bring the decimal point straight down, so your answer is 7.1, which is close enough to 8. All right, let's look at number 2. No, I don't. I want to go to 5 first, just because I like the way 5 is going to be set up. Okay, so one thing I'm going to tell you. First thing you should do not leave your problem like this. Stack them. Bigger number on top, smaller number on the bottom. Line up those decimal points. So we have 5.63 plus 2.6. So I line my decimal points up. Because there's nothing in the hundredths place here, I'm going to use 0 as a placeholder. Okay? Always, always, always start by stacking them. Do not leave them this way. Okay? Do not leave them horizontal. Stack them vertically because it'll make your life so much easier. Okay? All right, here we go. Let's take a look at estimating here. So we look at the 5. We look to the right, which is 6. Because it's 6, the 5 increases by 1, 2, 6. Okay, we look at the 2, we look to the right, it's a 6. Because it's larger than 5, the 2 increases to 3. So a reasonable estimation would be 6 plus 3, which is 9. Okay? And now we're going to actually add them up. So we have 3 plus 0, which is 3, 6 plus 6, which is 12, carry the 1, 5 plus 2, which is 7, plus 1 more is 8. Bring down the decimal point, 8.23 is our answer. We can write it on the line. I've run out of room there. But a reasonable estimation of 9 was good, right? Reasonable estimation of 9 was good. All right, let's look at... Ooh, I want to look at some of these on page 197. Reason being is because they are words, okay? So they're written out in word form. So the direction says to find the sum, which just means to add and find the answer, right? Whenever we hear the word sum, we add and find the answer. So we're going to look at this. Okay, let's look at 6 first. 7 and 25 hundredths added to 9 and 4 tenths. Okay, so we have 7. I see the word and, so I know that's my decimal point. And 25 hundredths. Is the 5 in the hundredths position? Yes. Added to 9 and 4 tenths. The 4 is in the tenths position. Okay? Then, to find the sum, we're going to stack them. Biggest number on top, smaller number on the bottom. Okay, so we have 9.4. We line up those decimal points, 7.25, and we're adding. Okay? Because there's nothing in the hundreds place here, we're going to use 0 as a placeholder. We have 0 plus 5, which is 5, 4 plus 2, which is 6, and 7 plus 9, that's 16. Bring down the decimal point. So our answer is 16.65. Notice here it did not say to do an estimation. If you want to, you can, but it didn't ask you to, so you really don't need to. Okay? All right, down here on 10 through 18, these are some of those problems that they've put horizontally for you. Just remember to stack them. Okay, stack them, then solve. So 16.74 plus 5.34. We put our bigger number first. This is number 17, I'm sorry. Plus, we line up those decimal points, 5.34, and we add. Okay, 4 plus 4 is 8, 7 plus 3 is 10, carry the 1. 6 plus 5 is 11, plus 1 more is 12, carry the 1. 2, bring down the decimal point, 22.08. Okay? All right, we are going to move on to our practice and homework page. I'm going to circle the problems that you need to work on for practice and homework. Okay? Just notice that 1 through 4 says to estimate, then find the sum, so I will expect you to find an estimation. Okay? 5 through 8 just says to find the sum, and then 9 and 10 you'll read and figure that out. Okay? I want you to do number 2. This is page 199. 4, 5, 7, not 8, sorry, 8, and 10. So again, on page 199, you are working on 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, and 10. On page 200, which is the back, you are going to work on problem number 1, 2, and that's it. Just 1 and 2 on page 200, okay? So again, on page 199, you are working on 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, and 10. Then on page 200, you are working on 1 and 2. Don't forget to go fill out your Google form so that I can see your answers. That's a total of 2, 4, 6, 8 problems, okay? 8 problems. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.